my name is Montgomery Mewers. I'm one of the folks who helps run the dormitories, and I will tag.
Okay, hi, I'm Shanta Chapman. I'm the General Manager for Centenary Dining, and I will be speaking to you today about some of the things we offer, as well as times we're open and any other questions that you may have.
And then I'm Catherine Schamberger. I also work in residence life with Monty.
And I'm Kelsey Rosenbaum. I am the district dietitian with Centenary Dining Services.
So perhaps we should start by inviting folks who are here to ask a question if they want. You can introduce yourselves when you ask or not, as you wish, and we'll do our best to answer any questions. We also have a little bit of information that we can rattle off for you, but if anyone has a question to begin with, we can start there. Well, I'm not seeing any electronic hands raised or comments in the participant chat, so I'll just rattle on for a little bit. Promise I won't take too long. Oh, wait a minute, here we have. The question is, when will room assignments be determined? I will pause so Catherine can address that.
We are doing room assignments as soon as SOAR is over. So SOAR ends next Thursday. So starting next Friday, we will start that process and get out those emails to students, both to their personal emails and to their Centenary emails, as soon as that information has been determined. We're hoping to get it done fairly quickly because students are coming back fairly soon, but we're waiting for SOAR like we normally do. So, and that gives, like, if you've got a student who is coming on the last day of SOAR, that still gives them time to find a roommate, figure out what building they want to live in, submit their paperwork before we actually start all that. So.
Oh, I see. Wait, I saw a little red number.
That's for the previous question asked.
Ah, okay. Alrighty. Well, because dining becomes alphabetically before housing, Shanta and Kelsey, do you all want to start first, or would you like us to start?
I have no problem. I can go ahead and start. Once again, I'm Shanta Chapman, the General Manager for Centenary Dining, and I want to say welcome to all our new students and returning students. I just want you guys to know that our top priority is to make sure that all students, faculty, and staff have a safe, clean dining experience. So we do have social distance measures in place. I want to tell you that we have two dining locations on campus, one being our cafeteria, which is located in the Bonham Commons building. We have our retail location that's located in the Student Union building. I'm just going to take a moment to tell you a little bit about both. Our cafeteria is where we offer our normal dining. We have several stations available. We have our chef's table, which is more like a home style meal, grill where we offer grilled items, and mindful items, which is some of our healthier items we offer at the grill. We have our vegan and vegetarian stations, as well as our pizza station. We have an allergen-free station, which is free of all of the allergens, such as seafood, nuts, and things of sort. We have our Expo Station, which is more of a cook to order. A student gets to walk up and pick the items that they would like to have, and we prepare them live in front of that student. We have our salad option on there as well. Also, our hours of operation are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, with breakfast being offered from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., then lunch from 11 to 1:30 p.m., dinner from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and late night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We do have continuous feed during between breakfast and lunch and dinner. They do have limited options available during those times, but we are open. On Friday, we're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we also have continuous feed during that time as well. We're open on Saturday and Sunday. The weekends, we're open for brunch and dinner only. which is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then for dinner at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we also have our Randall's location, which is open from 11 to 8 p.m. That's where you go and get your coffee. We have a Starbucks there. You would be happy to walk in and smell the fresh brew of Starbucks coffee. We also offer other Starbucks beverages there as well. We have our Simply to Go options for students who are kind of in a hurry and don't want to sit and dine. We do have that also available at the CAF. I failed to mention, my apologies. But Randall's is more a hot off the grill option. We have both healthy and not so healthy. But you're welcome to go there between the hours of 11 and 8 p.m. And lastly, we have students who have dietary restrictions. We have our nutritionist, Kelsey Rosenbaum, who is on the line, and she will go into further detail about the things she do. But we do have a dietitian available for those who have dietary restrictions or special needs. And I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey to go more in depth about what she offers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shanta. I apologize, my video is not working today, but I am Kelsey Rosenbaum. Again, I'm the district dietitian with Centenary Dining Services. So we have several different programs that Shanta has already mentioned. So if you are vegan or vegetarian, a health conscious eater, or have food allergies, we are here to help you find delicious and healthy foods, no matter your diet. So our Mindful program is going to be a very easy way for students to find healthy options in the dining hall. We have a Mindful logo that is going to be on our online menus, on the Bite app, and at each station. Each station has full nutrition information for every dish, and that's where you can find the vegan and vegetarian logos and the Mindful logos. So it's very easy. If you don't want to put a lot of thought into, what you're eating in the dining hall, we make it easy for you to recognize those options that do fit your diet. We also have several vegan and vegetarian options throughout the dining hall. We do extensive training for our chefs and our culinarians to learn more about vegan and vegetarian options, as we're seeing our campus community kind of change and be more interested in plant-based options. The last thing that I'll mention, and then I'll go back and answer the question we just got, is our Simple Serving Station. So this station is a great place for students with food allergies to eat. At this station, we do not use 7 of the top 8 FDA identified food allergies or gluten. So in a nutshell, this station, you will not find peanuts, tree nuts, milk, soy, wheat, eggs, or gluten. I think I'm missing one. I just got back from vacation. I apologize. I'll write them in the chat box. But if you have any other questions, we definitely encourage you to reach out to us. You can find us on social media. On Instagram, it is Centenary Dining Services. We have lots of great programming happening throughout the year, and following us on social media is the best way to stay up to date easily on what we're doing. And then you can also find Shanta and my contact information on the Centenary Dining website under Meet the Team. One of the questions that we just received, what is the name of the dining app where students can find nutrition information? So that's called the Bite app. It's BITE. And that's the app. Students can download it and they'll be able to see what we're having for our meals throughout the day. You'll get to see what allergens are in each dish, and you'll see the full nutrition facts panel for each dish as well. You can also find that information on our online menus, again at the Centenary Dining website, and I will share all of that information I just talked about in the chat box.
All right, so we'll talk about the dormitories a bit. And Catherine and I will alternate our points here. The two of us are the professional staff who live in and help run the dormitories. And Catherine's going to talk a little bit about the student staff who live throughout the buildings.
So yeah, we have student staff who live in all of the buildings. All of our students have a resident assistant who is sort of their main point of contact with the resident's life. So if they have an issue, or if they just want to, have a fun place to, hang out, there is a great resource. In addition, our first year students, we also provide them a second staff member who is a what we call a community resident assistant, and their whole goal is to build connections between the first year class and help them adjust to their first year at college. So your students will meet their RA on the first day when they move in. They'll pick up their keys and things like that, and then they'll be periodically stopping by their rooms and building those relationships all year. So
students have exclusive access to their own building and room. Their ID cards will give them access to their building where they live, and then their key will give them access to their suite and room. The access is 24/7. We don't have curfew or lights out or whatnot. We do have quiet hours, which start at 9 p.m. on weeknights and then midnight on weekends.
Each room has a bed, desk, chair, chest of drawers, and a closet space for each student. Every room comes with cable TV and internet, both with Ethernet and Wi-Fi. And the bathroom is shared with only a few other students. So none of our buildings have bathrooms down the hallway.
Each of our buildings has things like a main lounge with a television, a study lounge or study area, a kitchen, and laundry room. And while I'm at it, I guess I'll say a word about the laundry machines. They're in every building. They're provided at no additional cost. There's no need to hoard quarters or worry if there's enough money on one's ID card for schools that do it that way. Here, students just put their clothes in the machine, add soap, and push a button. We request folks use liquid soap or pods. Powder is okay, but when folks use powder and other folks using liquid, the power gets a little clumpy. I think that's an industry term.
And then generally, for your information, move-in day is going to be August 6th this year. It's Thursday. We'll have folks moving in at specific times instead of just a general window. We're going to email at specific times. Some groups are going to arrive earlier. So if you're an athletics or choir, you may be arriving earlier than the 6th.
Alrighty, we'll pause there and ask if anyone has questions about dormitories or campus life in general. Perhaps not. Oh, here's one.
For move-in, we don't have a limit on the number of helpers. That, as far as I know, Monty, correct me if I'm wrong. We're not going to have a limit, but we are going to limit. Okay. But
it is a conversation that is happening at levels that are higher than the two of us, and we expect to hear an answer soon. I will say about that, while we're talking about COVID response, the campus administrators and folks at all levels, faculty, staff, and some students have been involved in diligently thinking through and working through scenarios and what is going to work well for us. I'll mention that while some schools have changed their capacity of housing and, for example, are housing students only in single rooms, that certainly makes a lot more sense when you have a dormitory of 1,000 where the bathroom is down the hall and the campus has no quarantine housing. We're a cozy campus. Our dormitories are small, only 100 or less than 100, or maybe up to 200, which we don't even reach that capacity in any of our buildings. We have as Catherine mentioned, a bathroom per suite. So each bathroom is only shared by a few students. And we have nearby off-campus quarantine housing. For other COVID-related concerns, the video Q&A a week from today, next Monday, July 20 at 12 noon, that topic is health information and COVID. So more specific questions can be addressed there as well. I don't know if either of the three of you have anything else to say on that topic. All righty, I'll keep going then. We did have a couple of questions that came in previously. One is, where can the meal card be used? On campus has been covered, and then you can say it again, certainly, and then any places off campus.
We only have use for on campus right now. We're in the process of partnering with outside vendors such as Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A. We have not got the status on those yet, but you can see something coming up here in the near future.
All right, I saw a couple of those questions we had already answered in our talks, but I'll move on to this one, which is, how much does it cost to remain in a dorm room between breaks? So like there are breaks during the school year and between the semesters. If the break is less than 1 week, then we don't close, we just stay open. And this year, less than 1 week includes Thanksgiving break, Mardi Gras break, and spring break. So the only break that we'll be actually semi-closing for is Christmas winter break between the two semesters. Folks do have to sign up to stay for that. If they're required by the campus to stay, we don't charge them anything for those days. So for example, let's say an athletic team has practices and competitions near the beginning of a break. We wouldn't charge those students for those days that they need to stay. Or let's say the choir is coming back a few days early, we wouldn't charge them for those days. The answer to, so how much does it cost, is $20 a day, or for Christmas winter break, $150 just covers the whole break. If this were a typical year and we did have a break that was a week long, for example, spring break, that would be $75. That's only relevant for future years. Not this year. Moving on to our next question. It just says dorms in December. So there's two kinds of December this year. One is break, which I just talked about, and the other is December term. December term is new this year. It is replacing August term. And if everything goes smoothly, it will be a 3-week immersive term where students who want to can take one class for those 3 weeks. The immersive terms are marginal cost free. It's included in tuition. For those who are enrolled in a class, then their room and board is also marginal cost free. If one wanted to stay for the immersion term and not take a class, we would charge them for break housing at the rates previously discussed. So, but probably few folks want to do that. If there were a group that was required to stay, then we would not charge them. And our final question is, how do you know if you're required to live on campus, and is there a penalty for living off campus? I could address that. Catherine, would you prefer to?
So in terms of who is required to live on campus, we are a 4-year residential campus. If you are married, a parent, or divorced, you can, or over 23 when you start your fall term, you can live off campus. We also have a new local at-home option. So students from the Shreveport-Bossier area who qualify for room waivers can now choose to live at home with their parents instead of living on campus in the residence halls. So, but everyone else is required to live on campus. If there's a reason that you feel like you can't live on campus, whether that's because you need accommodation or something like that, you can certainly reach out to our office and we can send you some forms to request to live off, but that's a separate process from this. So,
any folks on the line have a question that they'd like to ask that they haven't yet? But I'll just mention a couple of things quickly, just in case these questions come up later. Some folks want to ask about how large of a dorm size refrigerator they can bring, or if there's a limit on microwaves or whatnot. The it's not so much the size, the dimensions of the refrigerator microwave that matter, but the amperage and wattage. So for a refrigerator, our maximum is 1.8 amps. And for microwaves, it is 900 watts. I'll mention if you or your emerging adult college kid wants to bring an extension cord or a power strip or something like that, anything like that, multi-plug outlet that plugs into the wall that then has more plugs, all of those types of things need a circuit breaker, not just an on-off switch, but a reset button. If that sort of thing has a circuit breaker and a reset, that will help keep any problems that develop local to that device and switch, and not go back into the wall and trip a circuit breaker, causing a bigger issue. If a room starts to have a problem from time to time, we may need to ask folks to relocate some of their devices, or even just stop using them altogether if there's a troublesome device or combination. Another question that comes up from time to time is if people can bring like a hot plate or a grill or something like that. Hot plates are out, not allowed at all. A grill that closes is okay. So I'm thinking of like the George Foreman style grill. That closes, so it's okay. If it were an open grill, like a griddle, that would not be okay. Clothes irons, curling irons, hair crimpers, coffee pots, all of those sorts of things are fine, but should only be plugged in when in use and when the student is in the room with it. And then turn it off, unplug it before leaving the room. Toasters are not allowed. Toaster ovens are not allowed. I'm hoping some of this information is helpful. No other questions have come up. I've droned on a bit. So that's the last thing I'll say, and then I'll leave it to my three colleagues if they want to add anything. And then if no other questions come up, I think we'll be done for the day.
So we've had a few questions come up. The first is, if the December class is replacing the August class, does that potentially include the overseas trips?
I believe it theoretically could, but I don't believe the plan is for that to happen. And overseas trips are typically in May term. The only August term trip is, of course, the Paris trip with the first year students. And that was not postponed. That was canceled with a few options for folks to take advantage of how to use those funds as best would suit them. I suspect a popular way will be through passport points. Passport points are points that students earn by attending events, many of which they would have probably gone to regardless. They can earn up to, generally, up to 500 a semester, 2,000 total. But this entering class can earn up to an additional 2,000 points. 1 point is $1. They can use that for future international travel. Those will likely be during May term.
Another question we got was, how frequently are the bathrooms cleaned?
Once a week or once every 2 weeks. They are professionally cleaned, and then students, of course, with varying degrees depending on the students who share a bathroom, whether they like to do that more frequently or not. Well, I'll invite our dining services colleagues to say anything else that either of you might want to say.
I just want to reiterate on what Kelsey said, that any questions you have from dining, you're welcome to send me a personal email or post them on the dining web page. There is a place where you can post questions or concerns there. Thank you.
We got one other question. How are meals handled if someone gets sick and cannot make it to the CAF?
What we did over last semester is when a person was sick, we worked with the student. We would send over a menu. The student would pick their menu, and one of the RAs and a time that they would need their meal, and an RA from the building would come over and pick up their meal and take to them. Monty, you have anything on that? Is that correct? That's what I did.
Yes, that is correct. Because of COVID concerns, when we had a couple folks who were self-isolating just in case they had been to a city where they were far away and they're admitted. So we're like, oh, we'll stay in your room and whatnot. I had delivered those meals so that we just had one person doing that. We're fine tuning what exactly we're going to do for this upcoming year, but it might be me for COVID concerns. For non-COVID concerns, then a friend can pick up their meal and deliver it, or a residence life person such as Catherine, me, or one of our student staff.
Another question, are to-go containers available if a student has a short period between classes or a meeting or before meeting to grab a meal and take it with them?
Yes, we do have a to-go meal option that we've always had. We will also be implementing the Bite Plus, which is a mobile ordering tool, which a student can order their food and pay for it online and come to a designated pickup point to pick it up.
Well, it looks like we may have run out of questions. Well, we thank you for attending. If other things come up, please feel free. Oh, wait. How many meals are offered each week?
Well, that depends on the meal plan that's chosen. They have a 17 meal, 15 meal, 12 meal, 7 meal, and now they have a new 6 meal plan. So it's pretty much depends on the options that's chosen. Monty, you have anything on that as well?
Yes. That's, for example, 12, 15, or 17. Out of how many total do you serve?
Oh, us. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought they meant the meal plan itself. We sell, Monday through Friday is 4 meals. We have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night. On Fridays, we just do the 3, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Weekends is brunch and dinner only.
So I think that's 24. That's what's in my head. 16, 17, 18,
16, then
maybe 23.
19. It's 23, I believe.
Yeah. I should have paid more attention in 3rd grade.
That's okay.
All righty. I guess that's about it. If our contact information is available on the Centenary website, you're welcome to call us or email us, and we'll see you and your emerging adult college kids soon.
Thank you.